This is Jonathan St. James, and you're listening to The Truth is Still Straight podcast.
All right, folks. Once again, this is Jonathan St. James, and you're watching The Truth is Still Straight podcast. All right. A special shout out goes to the Kansas City Chiefs, who defeated the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl 57 by a score of 38-35 with a field goal. Once again, congratulations goes out to them for their win. Okay, now I want to give a shout out to those who support the show, such as Pedro Falcone, Sister Millie from the West Coast, V, Reggie, Cameron Evans, Rada Submissive Wife, Milton Gonzalez, Tessie, Burundi Shall Smile One Day, Rod Rubo, Jario, Richard Bernard, and of course, as always, extra shout outs go to Sister Millie from the West Coast. Also, shout out to Kristen that I found out listens sometimes. Anyone I miss? Oh, Pedro Falcone. If I mentioned him earlier, please forgive me. Just ran across my mind. Usually I read these off, but today's from Top of the Dome. So for anyone that I forgot, charge it to my head and not my heart. But thank you seriously. And if you're not liking and subscribing, like and subscribe. You know who you are. Stop playing. Thank you. Thank you for cheering for those guys. All right, we're going to get into Kevin Samuels now. This is going to be a quick one, I hope. And this is from the Avengers episode. It aired January 12th, 2022. And this particular conversation starts on the 1 hour, and 25-minute mark of the show, of the episode. And I will have the link in the description. So don't worry about it. I've heard your cries, and here we're about to get this started. Just gonna link up the video. Of course, this wireless mouse has been paining me. I got to get a new one, but here we go.
Okay. Oh, okay. Let me see if somebody else has a conversation. Has a question. Miss Ali, unmute yourself, please.
That's okay. How old are you?
Me, I am 53. No, I'll be 53.
Okay, you have YouTube playing in the background. You need to mute it.
No, I don't.
Okay.
But we can stop that. Well,
Okay, so you're 53?
I am.
Okay, so what's the question? What are we talking about today?
Let me see if somebody else has a conversation.
Yep. Yeah, I'm hearing YouTube playing in the background, so you need to close the YouTube windows. I don't think you need to have open the StreamYard. Don't unmute yourself until you close the windows. I'll tell you one thing about my generation, man. Okay. We suck at technology.
So you're 53?
Man,
you stupid.
You have YouTube playing in the background or another window.
Way behind.
I'm going to mute you. I keep
know.
hearing. Stop unmuting yourself until you close down all the other windows. Okay. I keep telling her to stop unmuting herself, but she keeps doing it.
You stupid.
One thing my generation, Generation X, the people who grew up with Atari 2600 and stuff, my generation thought computers and software was a joke. And
Not me.
And it grinds my gears to no end. The Generation X sucks.
Not me.
At technology.
Not this kid.
You see me, and I am nimble with the technology.
Not this guy.
Always learning. It's a goddamn shame that the people at our age who have the most wisdom suck at this stuff. I'm not saying you, Miss Ali. I'm just saying in general. Go ahead, let me just. Okay. Go ahead.
Great. No, I'm grateful to be on here. Finally, I was able to. I don't necessarily disagree, and I say in the most humblest manner, I am a Muslim.
Okay.
And I say, I want to disagree. Oh, just humor me. And
okay.
Our women today that come on, I watch you, and it pains me sometimes. Their behaviors, the way that they don't listen. And I'm divorced. I have 3 grown children, 4 from my husband.
Mhm.
I think I might have a chance
So what do
because
you disagree about? What do you disagree with?
that a woman my age, the possibility of me finding a man or man finding me or being chosen, um, I disagree. I think with the behaviors of my sisters, how unfortunate, I think that there's a great possibility. I don't need a 6-figure man.
Okay, you talking about you or you talking about your sisters?
Me,
Okay.
yes.
A blind squirrel can find a nut.
No. I listen
One.
to
Okay, I let you speak unmolested. A blind squirrel can look up and find a nut.
Mm-hmm.
What percentage chance would you give the average 50-plus-year-old unmarried black woman at finding a husband?
50%.
You can't make this shit up.
He rolled for that, baby.
Ma'am, 1 in 4 black women will marry in their lifetime. And you're saying that women over 50 have a twice as likely chance. Please explain to us why.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. And just in response to
She said
the
something.
conversation that you have, the attitudes, the non-cooperativeness. Yes, I am an older woman. I'm not looking for a 6-figure income man. I'm an average woman. So just on that alone, just
But
that
ma'am,
alone.
but what you're explaining is why you're giving women a 50% opportunity to find a husband
For
over
sure.
age 50.
For sure.
That's what you said. You said,
Yeah.
okay. Well, then, but you understand that black women today, all age ranges, 26% will marry, right?
Okay, right.
So you're saying that that number doesn't matter. If you're over 50, you got a 50-50 shot of getting a husband. That's mathematically implausible. You can't make that math work. Why would you have a better chance to get married over 50 than you do at 20?
Oh, I didn't say in comparison to a 20-year-old. So my response is this: at my age, and you stating.
What the hell was that?
All right. I don't know what's going on with this lady. She seems to be not really listening to Kevin at this point. So we'll see what happens after this.
Also, I can't give you the numbers that
Mhm.
the men my age are looking for the younger women, and just by
Right.
listening to your platform.
All right. I'm listening. I'm going ahead.
Oh yeah, some of us are not prepared. We're not wives, and like I said, humor me. It's just.
I think
just from
I think that you're saying one. You're saying 2 black women. You're saying 100 black women, 50 years or older. Just say 50 years old. You're saying in a room of 100 single black women, 50 years old. You're saying 50 of them will get married.
Yeah, that's what I said. I would
dare
like change my answer, but I said humor me. Yeah, because of the behaviors of my sisters. My
Okay.
my black women. Yeah, I mean, I listen to your platforms, and sometimes it pains me the responses that we give, and we don't even listen.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
He is clearly misunderstanding what he's saying because he asked her, are you saying that women in your situation have a 50% chance of finding a husband? That's what she's saying. But she's basically saying that it's easy for her. And I hear what she's kind of telling Kevin. She's trying to tell him that she's not excessively picky. But the problem with that is are you eligible to be picked? Because you know, a lot of women, they don't realize they may not be picky, but they may not be easy, and therefore men don't want to choose them, especially that age. If I'm an older guy and I'm in my, let's say I'm in my 50s and 55 or something like that, and I'm looking for a woman and she's 52, she's got to bring a whole lot of things for me to disregard a whole lot of other things that she may have. And I find that's almost never the case. The older ladies that I know, they talk about, I'm not going to settle for this. I'm not, even if they will settle, you know, a lot of times you do have older women who settle for what we call hobosexuals, guys who's just going to move in with them and they're going to live off their dime and stuff like that. Sometimes you get plenty of those. Unfortunately, my mom was married to a lot of hobosexuals, meaning guys who were either unemployed or underemployed and really could not contribute to the household. She had a lot of those the older she got. And I can't say if it's because of sometimes some people, they look for lower than them because they have an insecurity of who they are. They don't feel comfortable in their skin. So they sort of go after people that need them. And need them, you know, when you need somebody, you can't do without them. You tend to not go stray from them. You tend to not leave them unless you can find a better situation. I don't know if that's the case here, but that's the case in a lot of situations that I know with older women.
Ma'am, if there were today, the number says that 1 in 4, 20 in that room of 100 black women, only 26 of them will get married. And what you're saying is, I think that women over 50, if I gave you a room of 150-year-olds, 50 of them will get married. That doesn't make any sense. I smell cat. The number's supposed to be much less.
Okay. Great.
So you're saying that, and when you came in and saying you don't think that I give the women a fair shot, you think that women my age is not over, and I'm like, yeah, it is.
But what is the first thing I said also was humor me though, but
Okay.
no, because like I said, I'm not looking for a 6-figure income. I
Get it.
understand what
I get it. It doesn't have to be 6 figures.
what average, yeah, and like you say, yeah, I agree. There's a lot of single men out here that's looking for women. I know,
But they're not looking for 50-year-old women.
What? Yeah,
They're not looking for 50-year-old women. That's why I started asking women the question, what is life going to look like for you at 50? See, I understand, man, because you're in this position. And what women in your position have left, all you have is hope.
You know,
listen. I didn't say you. I said women in your position.
Right.
Because life has changed. When you were 21, women were in the driver's seat. You could determine if and when you went out. You determined if you went out on a date. You darn sure determined when sex happened, and you determined when the babies happened. That was 100% up to women. Men had to try to figure out the combination.
That's right.
We had to keep trying to come back, like going to the carnival, trying to win those little prizes. And y'all knew the combination, and y'all relished that because it was all weighted on your side. But what happens over age 30, the game changes. But in our community, because black don't crack, and of our culture, our women don't get the memo until they're almost 40, and it's 10 years too late. So many women are starting to, after 35, start to really start, I want to be a wife, and have, but it's too late for many. So I talk to women who were over 45, and they're asking, where can I go find husbands and this and that? I'm like, where are the 60-year-old men looking to marry? There are no men looking to marry you. Yeah. If a man is 50, it's like I'm 52. If I was going to remarry, why would I marry a woman 50 and I can marry a woman that's 28?
Oh, is that a question? No, I understand that.
But that's why I say the percentage chances are much lower because. Go ahead.
Okay, then I will agree with that. When I first started, I said, humor me.
Mhm.
I have a gentleman friend, 50 years old, and we have these type of conversations. You're gonna marry if you meet someone, Samir, they're gonna be your age or older. That I understand. Now, mind you, I was married for 22 years.
Mhm.
I understand that. First of all, you said that we will want a stepdad. I have a 13-year-old son, and no, I don't. So, I'm not waiting like I have time, but I understand those
Well,
things.
ma'am, I didn't say that
And-
specifically to you. Okay, please don't
no,
apply.
no,
Well, when I say stepdad, ma'am, if you're marrying, the man will be a stepfather.
but yeah, mhm,
Okay, so that's just a statement of fact.
yeah, yeah. So,
But you and your husband were married. Why did you guys divorce?
because we never communicated where we were, what we
Okay,
wanted,
all
we
right.
never.
What you
So how
talking
long
about?
have you guys
What?
been divorced?
Um,
Next week.
that's a good question, and have to
No,
say,
it's just a legal question.
uh, wow, maybe I have to sit down because legally we're still married. We're just
I
not
knew it.
together. He is in another relationship right now. So,
But you have a legal state marriage.
yes,
So
yes.
why not just do things the right way and just dissolve it?
End it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I listen to what you say. So he
because you
has a
can't move into another situation even if it presented itself.
yeah. So he has so he has a 2-family income. It would be plausible that he is the one that spends the money and file for a divorce. He's moved on with his life. I agree. I'm not a bitter woman. So
But okay, one thing that I understand with us, we just we don't do things in order. Do you want to be remarried?
I would like to be. Yeah, I do.
Okay. Um. Well, if you're not living together and he's in another relationship, the divorce needs to happen. But all I'm saying is that I'm a strong advocate for families staying together because when's the last time you had a date?
2 years ago, I went out on a date,
Okay,
and
ma'am. So how? Okay, so due respect, 2 years ago you had a date,
mhm,
and you're 50. At
yeah.
that rate, you're not going to remarry. One date every 2 years don't cut it. And I'm tired of seeing black women dying alone.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's like, well, we didn't get together, we didn't talk together. I don't care. I said this on Instagram last night. A woman asked me a question. She said she got married early on, had 6 kids, and she asked me, "Well, now my ex-husband was sniffing back around." And I told her point blank. I told my ex-wife she's remarried. I told her if she hadn't gotten remarried, and if I got to be around 65 years old, and she was still married, I'm like, oh, look here, we ain't got another but 10 years in this piece. We just need to go ahead and get remarried again and live in the house and do it for the family. You go to your front room, I'll go back over
Hey,
here.
man.
Because this is stupid. I think the biggest gift we as Generation X can give to the black community is saying we got bad information and we made bad relationship decisions. We didn't do it right. We had the war on drugs, crack, HIV, AIDS, Reaganomics. We had a lot. We had Generation X. I think history is going to be very sympathetic to us because we're almost like another lost generation. We never really had a chance. We're sandwiched between the baby boomers and millennials. But what we could do to the younger generation is tell them we should have stayed together.
Man, and and I agree. And I wanted to share this with you too. I agree. I think that it did not do my children a justice. I have a 21-year-old, 18, 17, 13-year-old, and I think that it put something on their brains. It wasn't a positive for them. We were married for 22 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Is he remarried? Is he remarried?
No, because they're still
No,
together.
he's living with
Remember.
he's living with someone.
They can go away.
But well, maybe I'll
Y'all are
book a
still
session
legally
'cause
married. Y'all are still legally married. And
Yeah.
the way, and if I'm gonna use my Thanos glove, I'd snap that chick away. And y'all sit down and have a conversation with people, and we say y'all need to sit y'all's ass down and figure out how to y'all talk to each other on Tuesday and Thursday, and leave each other alone the rest of the week. You go front room, he go in the back room. Y'all live in the same house. You give him his insulin shot, he rub your feet, and then when he die, he be in the ground. When you die, you be in the ground next to him, and your kids can come see their mom and daddy next to each other, like we got a chance to goddamn see. I am
Yeah.
sick of seeing black graveyards with families upon families upon families. And we're going to be the first mother freaking generation of single people buried out there by ourselves.
Not the last.
It's the one gift we can give them, because we can't go back and we can't go back and undo. We made the best decisions we could with the information we had. We didn't want to end it this way, but for us that are still here, we can tell these young folks, stay together.
Yeah.
Stop trying to look for something else out here. You don't want to be out here doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all are still legally married. This woman I talked to yesterday, she was a bishop's daughter, and she was involved in a relationship with a woman. And I said, you better go on back with your ex-husband. And you better figure something out.
Yeah.
Dating at this age, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does. And you know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say y'all can turn some heads, but I do understand what you're saying. A lot of men will sleep with me.
Turn some,
If
but
given
they don't want
opportunity.
you on. I mean, look, man, we ain't got. Look, come on now.
Yeah.
You ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing
Yeah.
new. I'd rather turn the channel. I'd rather turn the channel and watch Matlock or some shit. Come on now. I ain't trying to hear all these turn heads. Fuck all
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on now.
Yeah.
Come on. We didn't got past all that. But see,
I agree.
and these young people need to hear more conversations with people our age, realizing, because they get their cues from us. They didn't need no man, this, that, da, 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 da. No, I would love to hear women of your age start telling younger women relationships are good. Men are for more than sex and provision. Men are worth
Right.
something. And that's an inheritance that you can give your children, your daughters, and your sons that money cannot do. Give them relationships so they can have a better opportunity, because our time is done. We're not going back. I mean, I could still get married and have kids, but for women, nature's made choices for y'all.
Oh yeah.
But the remainder of life could still be better together than apart. That's all I'm saying. Better together than apart. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All I can say is I thought he was gonna play this for her.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, lamb, raw, dog, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rat.
All right. But he didn't play that. He was very kind to her. She was very kind. So I have a question. Anybody who's Muslim out there, is it Muslim or Muslim? She said Muslim. I was just curious if that's the actual pronunciation. I've always pronounced it Muslim, but I could be wrong, and I've never asked anyone who knows better. So I'm asking if anyone out there listening to this show knows better, please let me know. Muslim. All right. So that was pretty painless. My only thing with that is I find this happens a lot. And this is what happens a lot with older women. Not quite 52, but the older range when they're sort of falling out of that, as they call, sexual marketplace. So they get older, they meet men that could be interested. But the problem with that is they want men to like them the way that a man would like them when they were younger. I've seen it over and over again. I even have lady friends that they do the same thing. They expect these guys to love them at 40s and 50s or 30s, the way that they would have liked them when they were in their late teens and early 20s. But of course, it doesn't work that way. Most men work with what they see. Now, the more desperate a man comes to finding a relationship, he'll certainly accept and take whatever he can get. That happens. All right, it's time for the braces. Relationship braces. bringing hearts together, one heart at a time. 53-year-old mother of a few kids. What can you do to remarry and find a man that would want to find you? So here's the braces for that woman there. 53-year-old woman, mother of multiple. I want to say 3 or 4 kids. I kind of lost track there. I know she had a 13-year-old one. My advice to you is this. At that age, you may have to use unconventional methods. I would definitely advise against online dating. Do what you want, but I've seen online dating be very disastrous for older women because there's a lot of men on there gaming older women because they know they have better access to sex when the woman is older, generally. Not always, but generally. So what I would do is I would really go to places where, unfortunately, older men are going to have to be. Somebody who's looking for someone who is younger at 53 years old. So that means he's not going to be 54. He could be, but he's, I see where you said you would lower your standards in terms of expectations, and that might be helpful too. So you seem realistic in your thoughts, but you have to also be realistic in your approach. And that always helps. And those are the braces. All right. With that being said, this is Jonathan St. James, and it's about that time to end the show. And on that note, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, this is Jonathan St. James, and I am out.
Yeah, I said that. I told my ex